Nature. Ever since I was a little kid, I've had a dream of living off the grid in a simpler life. Today I'm going to be learning survival essentials to find out if that fantasy can be a reality.
Hey, I'm Dan Baird, head instructor for California Survival School. I'm a backcountry guide and a wilderness survival expert.
Dan, great to meet you.
Hey Miles, thanks for coming out.
What is the most dire survival situation that you have found yourself in?
You know, it's not really an adventure till things go wrong. I've almost died of dehydration, I've almost fallen off cliffs, but you know, by having proper safety measures in place, you know, I'm still here.
Have you ever killed a bear with your bare hands?
Never killed a bear.
When you think of nature, what are 3 words that come to mind?
You know, Miles, it's really one word. It's plan. It's an acronym. You could say it's 4 words. It's pack what you need to, learn what you should, alert the right people, and never skip steps.
Great. So instead of 3 words, you give me a 1 word and a 4 word.
1 and 4.
My 3 words are simplicity, relaxation, and having fun.
Those are all why we come out here. I think human beings were hardwired for nature. Our species developed outdoors, and it's only been in the past, you know, a couple decades that we really have settled into cubicles and maybe go out to Starbucks once in a while.
Since I was a little kid, I've always had this fantasy of throwing away my phone, going out into the woods, and living off the grid.
As long as we work our way into it the right way. We don't want to just drop everything in the trash and head outdoors with just the clothes on our back.
What am I going to be learning today?
We're going to be learning about first aid, then shelter, water, fire, food. If we tackle our priorities in that order, we're going to make it out alive. Let's do it.
Sounds good. It sounds like one of the most important survival techniques is first aid. So Dan said he was cooking something up for me.
So I got a serious cut here. Let's get it taken care of. The biggest thing right away, if I'm just coming in like, I don't know what to do, you want to tell the person to keep pressure.
Hey, keep pressure.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to look for a big gauze pad. If I didn't have a gauze pad or something, I'd be looking for socks, a t-shirt, whatever it is.
We got toilet paper, bottle,
yeah, toilet
socks.
paper, socks, whatever you got.
This one right here.
Yeah, so open that up. Direct pressure is the biggest thing with a severe bleed. You want to make sure you're stopping the bleeding. Now, before you touch me, what you actually want to do is get on gloves. So there's some gloves on there.
He's bleeding. He's going. Come on. I broke the glove. Okay. We're gonna have to keep going. Come on.
We'll slap it on there. What you're gonna do is say, put the pressure back on.
Put the pressure on, Dan.
Okay. So we're gonna hold the pressure there. Okay. And if it starts to bleed through, what we actually do is we put on another one on top of it. So I ran out of bandages, but you know, I'm hiking with someone who has maxi pads. It's actually great. It's absorbent. If it seems like it's stopping the bleed, and also just if I'm tired of holding it, we gotta get bandages on there. Yeah. Now we don't want to go so tight that we lose sensation or color in the fingers, but we can check actually and see if I have circulation in my fingers by pushing on them and see if I still have the blood coming back in. Yeah, tuck that in.
All right, I'm tucking it in. Oh, I'm covered in blood now.
Yeah, you are. The biggest thing right here is just stop me from bleeding out, so I'm not going to die right now.
That's good.
Elbow bump.
Elbow bump.
Good job, man.
If that was happening in real time, you would have bled out.
The biggest thing is right away, if I had a big gash like you said, keep pressure. So that direct pressure is what stops major bleeds.
When I go out and there are actual bear attacks to my friends and family, which I'm sure there will be, then I will know what to do in that situation.
In the very unlikely event you get attacked by a bear, I think you got it covered.
Well, we don't want to write it off as well. So now we're going to build a shelter.
Temperature regulation is the next big deal. That's what kills the majority of people outdoors that are found by search and rescue teams. They've died from exposure. For shelter, weather break, tarp to keep off sun and rain and block some wind, and an insulator like a sleeping bag or wool blanket. But if we end up in a situation, what a bear attack, some bear steals your pack.
I know it's not likely. I'm just worried that it might happen.
Yeah, if it happens and your pack's gone with all this stuff, how are we going to do it primitively? That's the question, right?
Yeah, that's the question.
Okay, so let's answer it. Let's go build a primitive shelter.
Sounds good.
So what we're after for a primitive shelter, we need insulation and a framework to get it around our bodies. So we're going to go grab grass for insulation and grab some wood for framework. Step 1 is to choose a location that's safe. Step 2 is to make an insulated bed. A good bed is at least a foot thick. You can get on top of that sucker and we're good to go. It's going to keep us insulated and nice and warm.
Hey, you look comfy.
Yeah, there's room. Could be for 2. So you got your comfort going on?
Well, I'm definitely covered in hay.
Yes, you are. Step 3, once we're insulated from the ground, we want to make sure that we can get some cover over us. It's going to be one long ridge pole that's longer than our bodies, and then some side sticks like ribs coming off our backbone. Step 4, we're going to get all of our insulation that we've been gathering. We're going to get that packed on top and make sure it's 2 feet thick.
I expected taking a bath in the stream, using rocks to pumice stone my feet. Is way different.
Once we have all these things together, we can make sure it's nice and tight, and then we can just slip into it like a sleeping bag.
It's like going into a scarecrow's butthole.
You head past the door. Now you're good.
This is terrible.
Even if it's really uncomfortable like a scarecrow's butthole, you're gonna be warm, and that's what's gonna count.
I think the secret to one of these is that after building it, I'm so exhausted I could sleep anywhere. How did I do? Did I help build it correctly?
Boss, I think you're gonna make it through the night.
Oh yeah, baby!
Not getting too hot or too cold is a huge deal. So being able to build something like this in a last-ditch effort to stay warm through the night is a good move, and you did it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap. Fire. Tell me how to make a fire.
Fire is one of the most useful tools that we can have. It cooks stuff, it cleans stuff, it heats us up, it helps us emotionally. Having a fire at night is a huge psychological benefit. So we have a lot of different fire methods here. If you're in a survival situation, you want to go after the one that's easiest to use, that's gonna work the best and meet your needs, even if you have a broken arm and you're hypothermic. You know, I love friction fire. I think friction fire is great, and it is a viable method. However, you gotta have a kit that's ready generally, and you have to have a functioning body that can do it. If I could only choose one, I'm going after a road flare. Why? Because it has a fuel source that burns hot and long, and it's also something that's easy to strike. I could actually drop this in water and still get it to ignite.
See, I feel like you're somebody, like, if you were in the Mad Max universe, you could survive because you'd be like, all right, road flare, and then I'm gonna take my bungee cord, and that makes a weapon.
So what we have to do is create a fire structure that's gonna allow us to sustain stuff. A fire structure, we start out with some really fine stuff like grass or leaves. You wanna make a little house, a little igloo, something that you can kind of tuck fire inside. After that, you get thin sticks, stuff like the size of pencils and stuff. All right, let's give it a go. And just to make it a little more intense, why don't we add some rain to the mix. If I can't really use my fingers very well, this is something you can still grip and light. So you're gonna strike it just like a match, hold it low.
This?
Yeah, hold it firmly and strike it. Nice. So you can just stick it in there.
Stick it in?
Yeah, stick it in.
Drop it?
Yep, let it go. It's gonna start that fire nice and quick.
That's way easier
Yeah.
than doing all the other stuff. I don't know why people are carrying on matches or flint and steel when you could just have a road flare.
So basically, if I want to purify water using a primitive method, I can heat up rocks in a fire safely, and then I can pull that heat out of the fire because it's stored in the rock like a heat battery, and drop it in a container. They only hit about 200 degrees if we keep dropping hot rocks in this thing, and we'll have boiled water, and that's going to be safe for us to drink.
So it probably doesn't taste very good because it's hot rock tea.
Kind of tastes like dirt, but honestly, it's the dirt's not what's going to kill you. It's the bacteria and viruses and things that are going to get you sick.
I think at the beginning of the day, I thought that I was gonna be able to live the outdoor fantasy, but now I'm covered in hay, I fixed a bloody wound, and I found out flares are awesome. I knew nothing about first aid before today, and I still feel like I'm a little touchy on it.
We want to get outdoors, we want to be here, we want to have a good time, and we just want to make sure we're okay with the what ifs, the possibles.
Would you feel comfortable if we crash landed on a desert island together that I would have your back?
Miles, I think you would. I think you'd take care of business.
That's all I wanted to hear.